and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. Today is Tuesday, October 13th, 2020. I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, Manchester Mayor Lonnie Norman passed away yesterday. There was a deadly shooting this weekend in Talahoma, and a local city employee was honored at last night's board meeting. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Talahoma is ready to help you live well.
Here at McNally Collision Center, we work with all major insurance companies, and we get the job done right the first time, on time.
Well, I grew up in Talahoma. We'd always done business with Stan McNabb, so when we needed collision service after a run-in with a deer, we knew to call those guys. We already had trust with them. We called Cody. He took great care of us. He kept us posted every step of the way, and we couldn't have been more pleased.
Getting your vehicle back to pre-loss condition shouldn't be a headache. So in event of an accident, contact me, Cody Hall, at Stan McNabb Collision Center.
It's time for every family and business in Talahoma to go green and recycle. Talahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Talahoma, and recycle.
Welcome back. Manchester Mayor Lonnie Norman died in the early morning hours of Monday, October 12th. Norman was diagnosed with COVID-19 on October 1st and had spent much of the time since then hospitalized. He was 79 years old. In August, Norman won re-election for his third consecutive term as Manchester's mayor. Currently, board-appointed Vice Mayor Marilyn Howard is performing mayoral duties. The City of Manchester released an official statement saying, quote, "With a deep sense of sadness and loss, we announce the passing of Mayor Lonnie Norman after being hospitalized for COVID-19 on October 1st, 2020. Mayor Norman passed away in the early hours of Monday, October 12th, after a valiant fight against COVID-19, end quote. The city's charter states that in the case of a vacancy in the office of mayor, the Board of Mayor and Aldermen shall fill the vacancy with the vice mayor or the remaining members of the board until the next regular election, at which time someone will be elected for the balance of the term, if any, or for a new term. The next regular city election is in 2 years. Mayor Norman's body was escorted through Manchester Monday morning to Central Funeral Home. Everyone here at PHEP Productions sends our condolences, thoughts, and prayers to Mayor Norman's family. He was a good man and a friend to all, and he will be missed. At last night's Talahoma Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting, the loss of Mayor Norman was acknowledged.
I'd like for everyone to please stand right now for a moment of silence in memory of my fellow mayor, Lonnie Norman, who passed away this morning in Manchester. So a moment of silence, please. Thank you.
And we'll be right back with more News Leader after these messages.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Talahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Talahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Talahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Talahoma, and have some fun with Talahoma Parks and Rec.
Welcome back. News leaders Philip Scoggins spoke with Coffee County Election Commission Administrator Andy Farah about early voting, which starts on Wednesday.
Early voting begins Wednesday in Talahoma at CD Stamps. It opens at 9 a.m. It continues till 4:30 Monday through Friday, and on Saturdays it opens 9 to 12. At the Coffee County Administration Plaza, it's open 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on Saturdays it's 8:30 to 12. The last 3 days we are going to extend the time till 5 p.m. Extending it 30 minutes for the last 3 days of early voting. Just come by one of the two locations. We will be social distancing. We will have plenty of workers for the crowds that's going to show up, and I just encourage everyone to come out, early vote. Remember, some of the polling locations on election day are smaller rural buildings, and social distancing we cannot guarantee. So just please take advantage of our early voting times.
And how long does early voting last?
Early voting is from Wednesday, October the 14th until Thursday, October the 29th.
Okay, well that's a pretty good bit of time. And with all the discussion about mail-in ballots nowadays, can you tell me how would somebody go about doing that, or is it too late to do mail-ins?
No, there's still time. Absentee requests are still available until October 27th. Anyone that's interested or feels like they qualify to vote absentee ballot can call our office at 931-723-5103 and get a request form. Or you can go online to govotetn.com or coffeecountyelectioncommission.com, and the forms available on the internet. You can print that off. You do have to physically sign it and return it to our office. Then once we receive those requests, we will then mail out the ballot.
Oh, okay. So that's not the actual ballot that you would get off the website, it's just the application.
Correct. In Tennessee state laws, you have to request a ballot. We don't just mail those out.
Okay, and can you tell me what some of the exceptions are to allow people?
Sure. The main exception that we see is 60 and over. People who have pre-existing conditions that do not feel like they are safe getting out and voting in person qualify. College students that are away from home for college, as long as they're a registered voter in Coffee County, can request one, and we will send it to where they're at college. There's about 12 or 15 exceptions that a person can qualify for.
Okay.
Speaking of absentee ballots, I would like to remind everyone, because we have had such an increase with absentee ballots, that once the Election Commission has mailed out your ballot to you, you can no longer vote in person on a voting machine. You have to vote that ballot. If something happens to that ballot or you don't get it in the mail in time, you can still show up in person. We will let you vote a provisional ballot, another paper ballot, and then on election day we will verify that the first ballot that we sent you has not been received, and so that your vote will still count. But please, once you get those ballots, get them into us.
Okay, well, it's good to know that there's protective measures in to keep people from double voting.
Yes.
All right. And just with everybody talking about mail-in voting and stuff like that, I heard today somebody saying that there were serial numbers on the bottom and that some nefarious postal workers are throwing them away because you could tell what party the person was registered for. Does that have any truth?
No, not in Tennessee. I don't know what other states do, but in Tennessee, a registered voter is not registered by the party. So when we send out ballots, it's a generic ballot. Especially for this election, because it's a general. You do not have to say whether you're Republican or Democrat. So when we send those out, there is a barcode on the envelope. That is only for the post office. to read so that they know that it is election mail. But it says on the envelope it's election mail, so it's nothing out of the ordinary. There's nothing on there to describe who you're voting for or which party whatsoever.
Okay, and when would they need to mail those in time just to be on the safe side?
As long as we receive your ballot in this office by election day 7 p.m., your vote will be counted. Any ballots that come in the mail the next day, November 4th, will not be counted. So just make sure once you request and you receive that ballot, you get it back to us timely. We've had over 1,000 requests for ballots, and we've already received back in 500 or 600 of those.
Great. So if people, so if they don't early vote and they don't mail in a ballot, when and where are they voting for the election here in November?
If you wait till election day is Tuesday, November 3rd. Polling locations throughout the county, a person in November has to vote at their precinct, and the precincts are open 8 a.m. through 7 p.m. that night. If you do not know where your precinct is, call our office. We'll be glad to look that information up for you and give you the address or where you need to go vote on election day.
Okay, Andy. Well, thank you for speaking with us today, and I appreciate you going through all this work to help keep elections straight.
Yes, thank you.
On Saturday, a shooting at Dawson Apartments resulted in the death of a 21-year-old and the arrest of a 16-year-old. Talahoma police officials announced that the victim of the Eastmore Street shooting has been identified as 21-year-old Brandon McGee of Talahoma. McGee was shot by a 16-year-old juvenile who is also a Talahoma resident. The shooting appears to have stemmed from an argument between the two individuals. The juvenile, who remains unnamed, has been charged. Talahoma police officials stated that the incident took place shortly before 1:30 this Saturday. We'll be right back with more News Leader after these messages.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Talahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. At last night's Talahoma Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting, Jennifer Moody and Kurt Glick honored the City Employee of the Month, Sheila Rico.
This month's Employee of the Month is Sheila Rico in our Parks and Recreation Department. And Sheila is one that I have the opportunity firsthand to work with occasionally, and certainly can speak highly of how well she works every summer with our aquatics team, lifeguards, and all of the workers out there that keep Splash Island safe. I would like to read, she was nominated by a coworker in another department, and I think that's also important to note. We have a great team that I think works very frequently across departments to help one another and to really support each other. This nomination states, I would like to nominate Sheila Rico, Aquatics Director, for Employee of the Month. She recently taught the CPR AED first aid training for employees. I'd like to commend her for an outstanding job. She equipped us with life-saving information and skills to help in an emergency situation. The training was very informative and realistic as to what it would be like to be in an actual emergency and the reality of how long we may need to continue CPR until first responders arrive. She provided excellent training, answered our questions, and helped us learn information that could help our coworkers, strangers, or friends, family members. She shined in her ability and confidence to teach in a group atmosphere while ensuring that all were able to perform the actions needed to handle an emergency.
Sheila got nominated for the teaching the first aid class, but it could have been for anything. It could have been for all the yoga classes she teaches, or exercise classes, or just anything she does. She puts a tremendous amount of effort into everything and has very good results. So we're very happy to have her.
Yes, Sheila, please come up. We can present this to you.
First, I wanted to thank you for this honor. CPR is an obvious life-saving measure, but recreation provides a lot of physical and mental aspects that are life-saving as well. We provide exercise equipment and classes for people that may not be able to exercise on their own, or may need a pool for rehabilitation or joint pain. Our patrons motivate and support each other. Through challenging times, they demonstrate genuine concern for each other. We provide safe spaces, safe open spaces for people to find solitude or meet new friends or enjoy the space with their friends and family. This year when Splash Island opened, I was an absolute nervous wreck. First, because I'm very protective of our staff and I didn't know what to expect. It turned out it really inspired me seeing what I saw, so I'm just going to share with you guys what I saw this summer. There were adults with literal tears in their eyes because they were so happy to see their children or grandchildren enjoying the pool and some sense of normalcy. We had lifeguards that's parents had lost their jobs because of COVID that were working as many hours as they could to help support their families, while we had others that sacrificed seeing their grandparents so they could work at the pool and maintain a safe distance from their grandparents for the summer. Almost every single person that visited the pool was extremely courteous and gracious and grateful, and we had people come from all over because not everybody has a backyard that their kids can enjoy, and they just needed to get out. So I really am happy that Jennifer and Kurt decided to open the pool, because I can tell you I was so hesitant because I was scared, but it turned out to be a really great summer. And a great in so many ways for the community and for the staff and the support system. So recreation is not just about parks and pools and ball. It's about keeping the community safe and providing experiences, memorable experiences that will enhance their daily lives and empower them to get through those life challenges like we've had this last year. I'd like to express my thanks for the board for continuing to fund recreation, and we're really looking forward to more improvements and the future expansion of our program. Again, I'm honored to receive this award and recognition, but I brought 3 people that with me tonight that have been with me since my very first day at the center. They worked there before I came and have been here for 9 years. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been able to get through all my difficult times or develop my leadership skills and do the extra things that I needed to do to have led to this honor. So I would like to call Grace Woodard and Charles Wilkerson and Ted Johnson up. And I would just like to thank you guys, and I want them to be recognized with me as well, and also JP and Kurt.
Thank you. I think you can see this humble leader that wants to honor her whole community. So, thank you so much.
And after these messages, we'll be right back.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron. And chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory. And marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game The rehab team at Life Care Center of Talahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
I'm meteorologist Leland Statham from the News Channel 5 Weather Center. Look to Jim Fuller and crew for local news night here on Channel 6.
Welcome back. Also at the latest Talahoma Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting, Talahoma resident Dr. Bill Sanders addressed the board about the importance of wearing masks to help prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Yes, I'm Bill Sanders. I'm a physician in town. I'm currently working as a hospitalist at Hardin. But my comments tonight are my comments on my behalf. Thank you for letting me talk. I've been concerned over the last month, since the first of this month, with the increase in cases in our community. Our current case rate in this county is 47 cases per 100,000 residents, which is more than double the rates in Davidson, Hamilton, Rutherford, Shelby, and Knox counties. Hardin Hospital, our COVID unit is, and Franklin counties as well, are at or near capacity for the last few weeks. And I've racked my brain to decide what can we do about this. The mayor and I were fortunate today to attend a meeting in Winchester of the governor's task force, representatives of Coffee, Franklin, and Grundy County. Very good meeting and a lot of back and forth, a lot of good discussion, such as allocation of resources from the state to targeted areas with outbreaks, need for more data information by the schools and health departments, such as trying to determine whether the increase is related to outbreaks, such as in long-term care facilities, related to the schools, or related to just community spread. I happen to believe that our area here is having community spread. And we had a long discussion about this and talked about protective measures. The state deputy epidemiologist, Mary Margaret Phil, Dr. Phil, gave a very good talk about personal protective measures. She presented some data about mask wearing, which was very helpful to explain people in the room about the effectiveness, the incontrovertible effectiveness of that, as a matter of fact. Then she presented an interesting study from Vanderbilt, which examined hospitalizations in the state from June on. At the present time, 60% of Tennessee residents live in zip codes with mask ordinances. She presented 4 graphs that showed that the hospitalization growth rate by patient zip code was directly correlated to the percentage of those grid zip codes with mask ordinances, implying that they do work. She then gave the statistics for the 8 areas. Our area, which is South Central Tennessee, has the lowest incidence of mask ordinances, less than 25% of the population. Now, what do we do with that information? You know, our governor has said that we're not going to have a state mandate. It's up to the individual counties. Although I personally would favor a mask mandate, I realize that we do not have it in this county. We will not have that. So what do we do as individuals? I think we have to reinforce how important this is, as controversial as it may be with some, to adhere to the protective measures that have been recommended: gathering spaces, indoor dining, face coverings, and so forth. And as community leaders, as governmental leaders, as healthcare leaders, as people in the community, we have to set an example and emphasize that so we can reduce the incidence in our county back down to tolerable levels. I think we can do that. I'd be glad to answer questions, but that's all I have to say. Thank you, Dr. Sanders. Does anyone have any specific questions for Dr. Sanders?
I do.
Go ahead.
So is there, so other than us leading by example and by getting information out to the community, is there anything else that we around this table can do to help support our community better?
I asked that very question to the man today. I think you can lead by example, which is what you said, and it's hard to stand in the middle of Lowe's and correct someone. I don't think I'd come to the point of doing that, but I always thought that leading by example was the best approach. Thank you, Dr. Sanders. I appreciate you being here this evening and sharing that with us.
Do you have this right here, Ray?
Yes, I do.
Take this. He can share this with the alderman, this Vanderbilt study, if there's any questions about it. It's very interesting to read about. So
I'll run copies and share it with each of the aldermen.
And don't forget to tune in to this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include Bonnie Gamble from the Manchester Parks and Rec Department. Tullahoma Fire Chief Richard Chastain will stop by, and there's a car show coming up in Deckard, Tennessee very soon. All that and more on this week's Living. Stay with us. We'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation.
It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Talahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Talahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
I'm Philip Bourne, Stanley McNally Detail Shop Manager. Here are a few things our customers have to say about our service.
What I love most about the Stan McNabb Detail Shop is there's someone local that I can trust to pick up my car, have it cleaned, and deliver it back to me in showroom condition.
What really amazed me is when he opened the hood and looked like he had taken the old engine out and put a new engine inside.
We have several different packages and individual services to get your vehicle looking like new again. We're located just behind Stan McNabb Chevrolet dealership. Call today, schedule an appointment, and see what the difference our detail can make.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this date. Our record high is 88 degrees for this day, and the record low is 27. The average high for this day is 71, and the average low is 48. Clear weather tonight with a low of 44. Sunny for Wednesday with a high of 78 and a low of 59, and sunshine continues through Thursday with a high of 77 and a low of 47. And that's our News Leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evening at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. for News Leader on 6. Stay safe and have a great evening.